You know, most people are surprised to find out that they were never actually taught how to follow their dreams. It wasn't because there was a lack of desire, ambition, discipline, or guts. It's simply that they were never taught how to take that dream from idea to reality. What if we could put a system in place that actually helps us pursue our biggest dreams and our purpose without burning out? Well, that's what we want to try and do. We want to take your strengths and your skills that you already have. We don't need to build a new person. From there, we can leverage it, just like any machine. Leverage your inputs and create stronger outputs. There's a great quote by Rumi that I love that says, "Let the beauty we love be what we do." And that's exactly the power that we want to pull forward and become that better future person that we desire. If you're watching this, you're probably a pretty community-driven person, focusing on friends and family, potentially an overachiever, always giving, always showing up, always feeling like you need to put in more. The problem is you're already full. So we need to figure out how to do more without putting in more energy, because there's not more energy available. We want to give you a way to leverage your fullness to move the things that matter in your life. Before we leave today, you're going to find a tool that'll help you distill down to see what really matters and see that vision on the other side of the wall. For a long time, I thought one of my superpowers was actually just being stubborn and being willing to just go harder and harder and harder into the wall until finally we achieved what we were looking for. In actuality, I realized that it's actually looking past the wall to a vision of something that's better on the other side of the wall. And that gave me the strength to continue to push forward. That strength becomes a heroic human effort. And that a lot of times can be commended and given accolades, but it's not sustainable. A lot of people would question some of those decisions, the starting points, the directions, even the pathways. But rarely did people question that outcome. Often it was applauded. How do we take that dream and we follow it without hitting that unsustainable level of heroic human effort? Well, I could ask you to list all 26 letters of the alphabet, and I'm going to guess that most of you are going to sing a certain song, and most of you will be able to get all 26 letters without missing any, and probably in a very specific order. That seems like a heroic human effort, but when we are given a framework, we can do that straight through. In order for this to work well, I'm going to need some participation. So I'm going to ask you all to stand up. No, seriously, just go ahead and stand up. Simon didn't say. Okay, sit back down. Okay, Simon says, sit down. Okay, now, I just got you to play a game without your consent, again, because I had a framework. Those frameworks can replace the heroic human effort. You might realize that without that framework, it's very difficult to get that thing to happen. What we want to do is develop a framework that does that exactly for our dreams. When you were taught how to take your dream and turn it into a reality. Think about it. I'm sure you've been told you can do anything you want to do or be anything you want to be. But what grade were you in where you were taught how to take your dream and turn it into a reality? Oftentimes we're just taught, or at least we see the model, that if you just work really hard, pull up your bootstraps, you'll get it done and you'll achieve that goal. Do you see a pattern here? That's the thing that is that heroic human effort that becomes unsustainable to keep doing for more and more pieces. So that class in most schools doesn't exist, but it would obviously be very helpful to all of us. So here's what we want to do. We want to build the class that helps you build your dream machine. When I was 7 years old, it wasn't in school, but it was a friend who called me up on the phone, and he'd always say, "What do you want to do? What do you want to be?" And that's exactly it. What do you want to do? What do you want to be? This is key because it answers very specific questions. What you want, do, and be. The what, that's the scope of that dream that you have. The you, that's who you are. That's your values and your purpose. We come to want. What do you want? That's your why. Why does that feel like the thing that you want to pursue? Do, this is the action. What's it going to take to get us there? And be, finally be. We are human beings. What do we want to become? What's the transformation that happens as we pursue these goals? Now, Eric Thielander asked me this question when I was 7 years old, and 40 years later it finally came to me and I realized that this is really the scope of what we need to be looking at. We're going to give the framework of how we actually move forward. And again, remember that the frameworks are the machines that conserve the energy. So here are the steps that we're going to take to go from dream to reality. And it's really quite simple. We're going to dream it. We're going to plan it. We're going to build it. And then most importantly, the thing that a lot of people forget is after we've done all that, we need to live it. This is the system, one step at a time, that walks you from that idea to reality. Dream it, plan it, build it, live it. Most of us take our dreams and try and push them forward through the models that we've seen our parents and our teachers and mentors follow. And most of them also were never taught how to do this. It's only a few particular situations where people actually are given this framework to step forward. Imagine if you never learned the alphabet, never learned how to count in order. It would make everything so difficult. Yet we wonder why we're struggling to accomplish these goals when we were never given that framework to move forward. Again, that raw effort turns into working too hard, creates burnout. Instead, we want to use the machine, or from its Greek root, makane. It's a device that transcends natural limits. A device that transcends natural limits. Again, that vision allowed for heroic human effort, but it wasn't sustainable. When we put a machine or a system behind it, we can push lighter, be more consistent, move more efficiently, and once we start moving, we get to keep moving. This is where clarity comes in. We can move forward without burning out by knowing exactly where, how, and when to push. A couple of weeks ago, we had an Impossible Dreams bike ride here in La Crosse, Wisconsin, and we showed several impossible dreams and dreamers that over the last 30 years have been taking what people called ridiculous ideas and moved them from idea into fruition. Now, no one started in a special place. They were all called to just take one step into an uncomfortable position. And then from there, they'd leap. They leap forward and continue to take step after step. Each of them had a vision that was rooted in the common good and really tied into this human dignity. It allowed them to level up, to leverage their passion into an entire community of doers with them, beside them, and behind them. Over the next few days, we're going to walk through the Dream Machine system. Dream it, plan it, build it, live it. This is where we step to the other side of chaos to live that life with joy, peace, and love. Until we connect again, you can use our free tool, the Dream Machine Visualizer, to really dig into your dream and have an understanding of what your best future might look like. Go ahead and click in, grab the tool, get signed up, and you'll follow along as we ride together.